Yeah, to continue on with what I was saying, about chronic pain, yeah. I am preparing myself bit by bit, slowly. You know the motto, grieve while they're still alive? That's what I'm doing. Sometimes you have to do that as a carer. You have to find time for yourself to just sit, purge, and have a good cry and let it all out. Let all your fears, your anxieties, your worries, and it's also good to talk as well and open up to the person who is suffering to talk about it. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a good idea to bottle it all up and keep it all to yourself. I don't know how I'm going to be, when that time comes, when my dad leaves this mortal coil. And I know it's going to be through what he's been going through over the last 5, 6 years. So when you think about it, right, I don't know. I know I'm going to be an orphan. I don't have any other family. I'm estranged from the rest of my family. I don't trust them. You see, I only want to be around people who get me, who truly understand me and that I can trust. You know what I mean? And, he's the only one because, he raised me all on his own as a single parent. So you got to look at it from that perspective on how I would feel. Of course, nothing lasts forever. We're all going to die. And that's why, in a way, people need to do that now, as in grieve while they're alive. As they're changing, as they're reaching closer to the end line, the finish line. And I don't know how I'm going to cope. I can't predict how I'm going to be psychologically, emotionally, if I'm going to go crazy, if I'm going to fucking do something stupid. I can't predict that. I won't honestly know how I'm going to be. So be prepared, people. I might turn into a complete rage maniac or Freddy Krueger. Who knows? I seriously cannot truly predict that. So I can't tell you guys exactly how I'm going to be. I know for a fact in the first couple of weeks, maybe to about a month or two, I'm going to be very antisocial, which means I'm not going to want to talk to people much. Yeah, I know that for a fact because normally when I'm stressed, I tend to want to be on my own to process things. If too many people are coming at me at once, wanting to talk, it aggravates me. I'd rather be the one to reach out to them when I am ready. You know what I mean? I know I'm going to be like that when my dad dies. So let me put it to you that way, people. In the first couple of weeks, I just want to be left alone when that time comes. Like, I'll announce it, but when that time comes, please give me, about 3 or 4 weeks to myself so I can sort things out on my end, debrief, you know what I mean? Do what I need to do. And then when the time's right, I will definitely reach out to people. But yeah, some people are different. Some people want to reach out immediately. But me, I can't. I've got to be able to, process shit. Yeah, that's how I see it. Everyone's different in how they handle grief. You go through all the stages of anger, self-blame. Then you go and point the finger and blame other people as well. You know what I'm talking about. But me, what I'm concerned about is I don't want to turn and go back to the way I was before, smoking like a chimney, drinking when I was younger back in the day. Oh, fuck, was I bloody, I used to fucking drink like a fish. Alcohol, and considering I've got alcohol here, you know what I mean? I don't want that to be a trigger. I'm concerned about that. I don't know. I just hope and pray I don't go off the rails and do something completely fucking batshit crazy. Well, if I do, I'll have to suffer the consequences of that and dust myself off and jump back on the horse again and try to, recover. But everyone's entitled to go wild when they lose someone close to them. You are going to go a little bit batty. It's natural, it's expected, but eventually you have to, snap out of it. You don't want to be in that mode forever. You have to eventually at some point, roll your sleeves up and dust yourself off and say, okay, that was a wild minute. Okay, now let's go, kind of thing. And that's how I see it, I don't know, guys. I can't predict that right now. No one can. How can you predict, how you're going to feel, how you're going to cope when a loved one of yours dies that you're extremely close to, that you cared for, that, you know, that you loved unconditionally. Like, come on. Ask yourselves that question. How would you cope? Would a part of you be lost? That's what I'm concerned about with me. What part of me will disappear? That's what I'm worried about. You know what I mean? I'm not afraid to speak my mind and speak how I feel and what's truly going on, but there are a lot of people out there that aren't like me. That aren't, you know, an open book. But some people, I don't know, they just close up. I'm not like that. You know, I can't be like that. I don't like to bottle up my concerns, my fears, my worries, my happy moments, my sad moments, my aggravated moments. You guys know everything. You are my diary. You're my blank page and I'm the pen. Let me put it to you that way.